Welcome everybody to the lovely... Wait, they don't hear you. Give me a second to fix it. It's the first pod, okay? I don't want to hear anything from you people.
Hello?
Okay, there. Now you should be able to hear Sarah.
Yeah, you can hear me now, yeah.
How's the music sound? Very quiet?
Non-existent.
Good. How about now?
Still non-existent.
It's there.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it at
Oh.
all?
Okay, very faintly.
How loud do you want it to be?
Fine. Where it's at right now?
Yeah, but I don't know how much of a delay you're at, and I already turned it up a bit.
No, it's fine where it is. It's fine.
Okay, well. Everybody.
Now I'm muting it, so I don't...
Everybody. Hold on, let me...
Oh.
Sorry, I had to cough.
We're very sick.
Everybody. Welcome to our lovely new Hold on. Pretend you didn't see this.
Yeah, no, hold on.
No, hold on.
Meanwhile, my thing wasn't moving at all.
Pretend you didn't see this. Pretend that Sarah works. Welcome to the... No. Hold on. Wait a
I'm
second.
still not moving. No, I'm moving!
I mean... Welcome to the podcast. Talk, Sarah, so we know it's working.
Oh, Mr. Obama.
Okay.
Okay, it's working.
Okay. I think we're fine now. So,
I think so.
hello everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I'm getting rid of that dastardly curtain, and now it's never coming back.
You got it for one thing and it failed you.
It's not the curtain that failed, it's because I was in studio mode.
Oh.
I planned that, by the way. Sarah was in on the plan, and it
I
still didn't
was.
work.
It still failed us.
Anyways, so yes, as you can see by our lovely background, and Sarah's lovely background too,
Yeah.
this is where we're going to be for a majority of the time, unless we're not, and then we're gonna be somewhere else.
I didn't agree to withdraw anything else.
No. I meant like the idea I pitched to you earlier. Do you even remember what we were talking
yes,
about?
I do. Yes, I do. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Well, hi.
Hi. This is what I was afraid of. We don't know what to talk about because we don't have a theme
I
for
know
this
what
episode.
to talk about. First of all, this is the introduction not only to the podcast, but to ourselves.
Oh gosh.
Sarah, go on. Say a bit about yourself.
I like bread. That answers a question.
A bit more.
I'm
Need
very
more than
sick.
that. That's not something about you. That's just an affliction you
It's
currently
about
have.
me, right? It's about me right now.
Okay, how about this? For future reference, well, I feel like Sarah doesn't sound as bad, but I don't normally sound like this.
Yeah, we don't usually. I feel a little bit better.
I kind of do. Ish.
Yeah.
Not a lot though, but it's fine. Sorry. I really need to get on the mic to make sure
A
I
little
don't
bit
cough
better.
into it.
Cough into our ear.
So Sarah likes bread. That's what we've learned. Anything else?
You want me to do a proper? I'll do a proper.
We're doing. This is an introduction podcast.
My name is Sarah. I'm an autistic queer gamer. And I like bread, and that's kind of the main focus points right now. I like Pokemon, Stardew Valley, One Piece, Red vs. Blue, of lots of other different things. So yeah.
Don't say
Go
hot
on.
liquids in front of her.
I hate hot liquids. I hate soup.
I was about to say, you're wondering why she has bread?
I love
Also,
bread.
The
Do I need to tell the bread story again?
Which part? Which one? Wait, what story?
I was in a mental hospital.
Not this again.
For pretty much every day at lunch, I would just eat toast. And so, I like bread a lot.
She loves bringing up that story. I don't know
I
why.
do. It's so funny to me.
I think what was funny was when the person was like, I saved some bread for you.
There was a time where a guy was like, I usually take some bread for my sandwich, but I know you eat toast all the time, so I saved some for you. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
You know, Andrew, it wasn't a reference to that, but it could be.
I don't, where? You're getting your lore mixed up.
Nuh-uh. I'm talking about, because the nickname.
Oh, Dat Loaf. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm not talking about the origin story that no one will ever believe.
I tell that story a lot, too.
Did you just yelp? I feel like...
I had to cough, too.
See? I feel like... if I were to ever tell that story to anyone, no one would actually believe that story because of how extremely far-fetched it seems. Especially because I'm your cousin, so it's literally, this happened to my cousin. It didn't even happen to me.
No one would believe you.
But yeah, okay.
We've told this story at a amusement park before.
Well, hold on.
But the guy didn't believe us.
Let me do my introduction, then you can tell the story.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Quiz. As you can tell, I'm not Sarah.
Wow.
Cue
Hey,
the
you're
dramatic
judging me?
music. I'm not good at introductions. You already have this pre-planned, probably because you introduce yourself to a lot of people all the time. Hold on. Okay,
You got the end of that.
sorry. I'm also sick. Because Sarah got to include it, I get to include it. I like a lot of nerdy stuff that Sarah doesn't care about, and vice versa. Although we do have some intersections.
We'll get to those
And
later.
I'm very much into a lot of artistic bullshit, as you can tell by my side of the room.
Okay, I feel like, hold on. I feel like that's not fair. I drew all of my stuff with a mouse.
Hey, I did the details of my normal profile picture with a mouse.
But none of the stuff that's currently on screen was done with a mouse.
I think you could do a good job with a mouse if you had the proper, like, tools.
Probably. But just also keep in mind that I am very artistic too, just in different ways.
And autistic.
And autistic.
It's both.
I'm an
Let it be known,
autistic
if
artiste.
you ever get to know Sarah, she might randomly ask you, are you autistic?
Are you autistic? But I don't mean it badly. I mean it in a collaborative way.
Collaborative?
That's not the word I'm looking for.
Anyways, I'm the one that set all of this up because I wanted to make it a reality after we have talked about this for a long time, because originally me and Sarah used to have what we called a podcast. It was not a podcast,
It was not.
but it was basically just us playing video games on call with each other and recording it. Not even the video. We weren't recording the video. We were only recording the audio. So it was just our voices and or Animal Crossing music that we would hear in our mics in the background.
Sometimes heavy breathing.
That too. So basically, the whole point of this is we finally get to have a podcast that's a real podcast where we talk about random stuff. And yeah,
We have themes lined up.
we do. We do have themes
Beautiful.
lined up. You're welcome, Shani. We have themes. We have guests that we want to get on to talk. Whether they actually come on or not is not up to us. But we
Nope.
have the people that we want to come on in our minds and on the list. And so, whether or not you see them, we'll see. Worst case scenario, We have to talk to each other like we have been doing for years.
What a horrible fate we've resigned ourselves to.
It's true. I mean, we're used to it at this point.
Oh, I nearly choked on my words in that last bit.
Speaking of choking on words, now Sarah is going to recount the lovely story of Datloff to you.
I'm gonna tell the story. Okay. So, many years ago, there is a group called Yogscast. They still exist today, but they are not nearly as prevalent as they used to be.
Wow.
And so, it's true. But many years ago, they held something that they called a Jingle Jam, which is basically just the entire month of December, doing charity streams. My brother was really into them and would watch every single one of their streams. And so on my birthday, December 5th, they were doing Civ 5. And it was my 13th birthday, I'm pretty sure. And I'm at school, and my brother's watching all of their streams, and they have this entire thing where if you give a donation of a certain amount, then you can have a city named after whatever you want. And so he, as a birthday present to me, donated and asked if they could name something Datloaf, because my nickname was Datloaf from him.
We won't get into the details of why.
But they mispronounced it as Datloff, and one of the best players in the game decided to name the city Datloff, name their capital city Datloff, and they never changed it, and so it became this entire thing because they were drinking a lot. They got very drunk, and it became an entire thing. There was like speeches done by it. Datloff did not win the game, but it was very dramatic. It was a very dramatic thing. There was a giant Minecraft pig hat that got named Datloff that got auctioned off. There's a song. There were t-shirts made. It was trending on Twitter. And so that is my legacy, is Datloff.
I only learned about it after the fact of it all happening. Well, no, I think I learned about it, well, not during, but like slightly after. So it wasn't like super long after.
Yeah, and Quiz's family... Quiz's family made me and my brother shirts because we weren't able to get official Datloff shirts, so they made us Datloff shirts that we still have to this day.
Unofficial merch for the official, technically, like, origins of it.
For the origins, and on the wiki, it actually says that it was bought from a viewer's sister's birthday or something like that.
You should change it.
What?
Your info. Maybe we could get some pod stuff drumming up there.
Just go to
for
the
a viewer's sister's birthday who happens to be on a podcast, and then put a link in.
Just on Twitch at this ad.
Yeah, but you don't even stream. You can't stream.
I can't. I would if I could. I physically can't.
Hold on.
This is gonna be a lot of this stream.
It's fine. I'm getting the hang of it. And I think it's easier to just push my button rather than press the thing on the... You didn't mute. How dare you?
I forgot I was in the process.
I mean, to be fair, have you ever had like an actual dedicated gaming computer before?
Not on my own. Because I have his dad's.
I was supposed to say, I'm not counting that because it's not
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, no, I don't have one.
Because I feel like this is my only one that officially was like made for gaming. But all the other ones were just like laptops before this.
Yeah, no, mine's just a laptop, not a gaming laptop.
And some of them were definitely not made to run games.
Yeah.
But it's
But
fine.
I know I am going to be once I have the entire moving situation figured out, I am going to be saving up to get a PC. So
Once she owns the East Coast.
yes, once I own the entire East Coast of the United States.
I didn't mean of the United States.
Too late.
I just meant
My
the entire
horizons-
East Coast.
My horizons have brought you mean like including Canada?
I meant everything. Everything east of you right now.
There's a lot east of me. Like that. I mean, okay,
When
hold
does
on.
the divide stop?
That's what I'm saying.
Or is it just like east directionally? And that means it also goes into space.
East direction. I was thinking like in the fact of the world because the world is turning and the world is a sphere. So it just goes around, and does the east eventually stop?
At what point do you own the sun?
I don't want to own the sun.
But you could, like, you know, crash it into someone that you don't like.
That would end all life on Earth.
And?
I'm not that petty. You might be, but I am not.
Okay, but if you own the East Coast and everything beyond, I own the West, and I'm crashing the sun into someone.
At what point do we clash and we end up owning each other?
Never. I'm more west than you are. It would
Then
only
there's
happen if we
somebody-
intersect each other.
How are you viewing this hypothetical situation? Because I think we're viewing it two very different ways.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Never mind, I'm not going to do it. I was going to bring up the projector. I don't feel like doing it. But no, I would like, okay, so if I'm on the west, which is to the left, because that's how directions work,
That is how directions work.
and you're on the east, which means you're to the right, and currently there is a distance between us, but you are
Yeah.
technically more east than me, so there's a
Yeah.
distance with a gap in between us. The
Yes.
minute that we are at the same distance with each other and that gap closes, that is when we will start intersecting each other.
But you're viewing it as a straight line, like going off of the Earth, not around the Earth.
That's the only way you can own the sun.
That's why I'm confused. That's why I was confused, because
And to be
like
fair, we might not even own the sun because technically we're on an axis.
that's what I'm saying. We might not even intersect. Like,
Speaking of the
There's-
sun, y'all,
where's
are
this
you
going?
excited for the solar eclipse tomorrow?
That's causing everything.
What's it causing?
There are so many conspiracy theories right now going around because of the eclipse.
What is it, like Mercury in retrograde?
No, like people are like saying, "Oh, there's the entire Christian view where it's like the rapture's happening on the solar eclipse."
I wouldn't say the rapture's happening, but I have noticed a lot of weird weather stuff has been happening recently. Around here in particular, and then also there's that earthquake that happened.
Oh yeah, people are saying that the earthquake caused the entire, the solar eclipse called the cause. I
Wait,
can
hold
talk.
on, what? The
solar
earthquake
eclipse-
caused the solar eclipse to cause
No,
the
no,
earthquake.
no. Yeah, no. People are saying that the solar eclipse caused the earthquake. People are saying that the solar eclipse will begin a massive human sacrifice event.
I'd pay to see it.
I would too.
I'd pay to be a part of it. We've already gotten an episode of the pod out. I can die.
Your purpose has been fulfilled.
It's true. As long as this happened eventually, I was gonna be happy, I guess. That it happened
yeah, like-
at least.
Other people are saying like, oh, that it's gonna cause a giant like electronic people to stop, like things to stop.
I feel
Like a
okay.
yeah.
Did you almost say a GMP?
No, I meant to say like a giant EMP.
A GMP.
EMP.
But no, I feel okay. Well, first of all, this is not the first time that people think the world is gonna end.
No,
I feel
also
like
there was
that
a solar
happens-
eclipse literally like 5 or 6 years ago. I was in high school when it happened. I remember it because I had a sprained ankle.
What a very specific thing to remember.
I just remember walking out of the house with my little boot on, looking up at it.
I don't think the solar eclipse has to do with the solar flares that are causing like waves that possibly can hit us and do a giant EMP over the world. That's a separate entity
Yeah.
that people are always afraid of because literally there's nothing we could even do to stop it if it were to happen.
We can stop a lot of things.
We can't
To be
stop
fair.
that.
Yeah.
Like that's why the scientists are like, well, I guess we'll just die. Well, we won't
Guess we'll
die
die.
necessarily. I don't think it'll kill us. Don't quote me, I'm not a scientist.
I'm sure everyone right now is writing down and like about to publish it as we speak.
But as for the solar eclipse, no, when I was talking about the weird weather stuff, around here at least, I don't know if it was the same around you, you know, with that big gap between us and our owning of divisions. But
Yeah, of course.
it was like, within the past couple of days, it was hella windy. Like, ominously windy for some reason.
To be fair, I haven't been outside.
I wasn't outside either, but I could tell and I could hear the wind and it was going crazy. And then like that's when the rain started, but it mostly was just windy, like out of nowhere.
We had a lot of thunder and lightning. Like our power went out briefly. But no, the most notable thing that has happened near me that I can think of, and it's not even weather related, I don't think. It's just this one guy's car keeps going off. The alarm keeps going off.
Okay, that has nothing to do with.
No, but it's annoying because I keep thinking it's my car going off, and I'm like, what's happening?
Does your car have like a annoying alarm that sounds the same?
Similar, yeah.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Well,
we are adorable, but it's sick.
Don't say that. But well, okay. Well, the last time that I can think of that there was like a major, the world was gonna end that everyone was scared of was 2012, because the stupid Mayan calendar or something.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm
vaguely remember that. I was a bit too young though. I would just know everyone thought the world was ending, and I got scared for no reason.
I didn't get scared. I thought it was stupid, but like, because I mean, at a certain point, I think you stop caring, because I feel like, at the same time, like way back when, even before that happened, there was also the whole Y2K thing. Not as an aesthetic, as in the Y2K thing, where everyone thought everything was going to crash when it went from 1999 to 2000.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was less the world's gonna end and more technology's gonna die. Which I guess is the same thing with the solar storms.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with the solar storms is that there has already been so many of them, and they don't cause that much of an issue.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's more of the possibility of a really big one is what makes people freaked out. Because it could actually like completely wipe out all of our electronics.
And then we would.
I don't know if you know this, but we're on a big magnet. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mikey, you're so young. You were such a baby.
I was 10 when it happened.
You're also a baby.
I'm not that baby.
You're not bad, baby.
I'm not a
Catch
bad
me
baby.
outside. Wait, I was talking about bad baby with an H.
Oh.
We went to two different zones. You were on your east side. I was on my west.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't heard any. Maybe it's because I haven't been like online or something. I haven't heard anyone saying how the solar eclipse is going to cause the end of the world. But literally, like you were saying, we had that one that happened like not that long ago.
Yeah, it was not that long ago.
Long enough where it was a decent chunk, but not long enough to where I don't fully remember what was happening.
Yeah, I just remember.
Because that's when I was selling all those glasses, so you could look up the eclipse.
Yeah, to be fair, some weird stuff was happening like weather-wise near that eclipse too, because I remember hearing, because I sprained my ankle, so I wasn't at marching band. But
you know, injured critically as per usual.
But a tornado formed right above them when they were
no, I don't think 2012 was when the last eclipse happened. I think it was somewhere close to like 2017 or 2018 or something.
Yeah, it was 2017. What? I'm on Google. Hold on.
Yeah,
when did the last?
I was gonna say, Shinny, I feel. Did you not even know it was happening? I swear it
August
was like
21st,
everywhere.
2017.
Because I remember it was a full. Well, I think it was still partial for us, but it was full enough to where it would still make the entirety of the day get really dark. And we were watching the TV with a camera pointed up at like in a place in one of the states where it was a total eclipse. And then we didn't buy glasses though to look at it, because to be honest, you're just looking at a dot going over another dot.
I think my mom bought glasses. We looked at it.
Mikey, you're still really young. Too young, in fact. Well, yeah, I'm surprised, Shinny, that you don't. I guess you don't remember, but you know what? Maybe you had different things going on. And I don't think anyone was saying how the solar eclipse was going to end the world back then.
No, I don't remember it either.
Granted, I was small.
I wasn't critically online like I am now today.
Well,
so.
I would say I was critically online. Not to an extent of being addicted, but more to an extent of I feel like I would have heard something.
Yeah, I don't even think I had an Insta. No, did I? I don't actually know. Oh, I did, because I posted about my sprained ankle
On what? On Facebook?
on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
I have the post still. I remember posting it.
Guess what, guys? The eclipse made
And
me
I
sprain
remember
my
people
ankle.
being like, I remember people like commenting like, "That's why you were on the ground during lunch." It's like, yeah.
You had to sit on the ground?
No, so the way that so it happened at lunch, and the way that the little outside area where we could eat lunch at my high school was, it had this stage, and it had these big, like, foot tall steps.
Oh my gosh, is that where you got kicked down the stairs? In that one video?
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
know
it
what
is.
you're talking about then.
Yeah, so we have these big, like, foot-high steps, and where me and my friends we used to eat lunch freshman year was we would eat on those steps. And
Sure.
so the bell had just rang, and I was stepping down from those steps. And I did something wrong, and my ankle just gave out, and I went down, and I was screaming because I was in a lot of pain. And eventually the band director came over and was helping me, and some of the seniors were helping me. And
At least
they
you
got
didn't
me to
break
the
it.
nurse. No, I didn't break it. Though it was a very painful car ride over to the hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate him.
Hey, you know,
I
you've
mean,
been here.
I don't think I've ever sprained my ankle before.
It's not good. I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, I've never broken anything either.
Nor
Have
have I.
you? Oh, well, I mean, you've done a lot of things to your body.
I've sprained a lot of things. I've sprained my ankle. I've sprained my thumb. I have sprained, I'm sure, something else, and I just didn't even know about it.
I don't know if I've sprained something, but I feel like, well, I might have sprained something, and I didn't know about it either. Probably because I was like, it's not that bad, as I was in pain for like a week. I still remember one time, I don't even know why this happened. This is when I swear I broke my toe. But like, I didn't say anything because I was embarrassed on how it happened. So I was sleeping on the couch. And I was like stomach down on the couch. So I was sleeping on my stomach on the couch.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, I like vaguely woke up. I wasn't like fully all there. And what happened was I rolled over off of the couch and just fully like hit the ground with all of my body weight. But somehow it extremely transferred to like the top of one of my big toes. And it hurt
And you
so
stubbed
badly.
you stubbed your toe by falling.
And it hurt so badly that I couldn't bend it or anything.
Oh no.
And I swear that, and it hurt for like a week. I swear I broke my toe. But I didn't say anything to anyone because I was like, how embarrassing would this be if I said, oh yeah, I broke my toe because I rolled off of a couch? Like,
How is the question everyone would have is how did you manage
and
that?
I didn't even know either. I don't know why it distributed there of all places because I felt like I hit like equally, but I guess not.
I wonder if you like subconsciously like tried to get your feet under you and it just messed up.
I don't know. It was stupid. I've had a lot of bodily injuries that make no sense to me, but I've surprisingly never broken a bone diagnosed. I'll say that.
I've never broken a bone. However, I have gotten stitches twice.
Oh, and staples,
both on
right?
my head. Yeah,
Yeah.
and staples. And they were both. Well, at least one was the cause of my brother. Because
Is
we
that
were
the coffee
roughhousing.
table one?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were roughhousing on the not on the coffee table, on the couch.
On the glass coffee table.
It wasn't glass.
In my mind, it was glass to make it more
It was
dramatic.
wood. And eventually somehow I got knocked off and my head hit the corner of the coffee table and I was just bleeding profusely and I had to go to the hospital.
Well, you
I
know
got
how
staples.
head wounds are.
Yeah. And then I don't remember. I want to say I was sitting on my brother's lap, but it could have been my dad's. It could have been my mom's. I can't remember totally. But I was
Just
sitting
because
on.
of the injury.
I was sitting on someone's lap, looking at the computer. And I fell off, and my lip hit the corner of a wall, and like where it went into the glass door, sort of thing, and it cut that. So I had to get stitches there.
Yeah, I'm glad I never had to get stitches. I almost thought I was going to when your dog bit me. That was such a stupid story, too.
Dog or Ellie?
Dog.
When did he bite you?
I've told you this story before.
I can't remember it. I can't remember it.
Okay, hold on. I'm coughing again. Okay, so I don't know if this was like at Thanksgiving or what, but I was over at one of your houses. This makes it seem like Sarah owned a lot of houses. That's not what I meant.
I own many houses.
Everything to the east. But no, I mean like, I can remember 3 to 4 separate houses that Sarah has lived in. Yes, that I've been over to.
We moved a lot when I was younger, so I've lived in quite a few houses.
But it was at the one where we found the moldy Santa Claus.
Okay, Bracken then. Okay. The first one.
Bracken.
No, not from Wait the Company. Not from Wait the Company.
It all makes sense now. Okay, but no, it was at that house. I don't know if it was for Thanksgiving or what, but there was multiple. It was obviously my family was there. You were there because you lived there. I don't know if Grammy was there or not, but I know it was Dog for sure because I remember his face. Literally,
his adorable little face.
What happened? I don't even remember how old I was. I was clearly young, not the youngest to where you bit me, but at a different point in time later. And
bitten by a lot of members of my family.
My mom and your mom were in the kitchen. And I was standing in there, and Dog was in the kitchen too, because dogs love going where there's food. Yes. And I was looking down at Dog. I wasn't doing anything. I was just looking down at him. I swear to God, I didn't hold anything because your mom swears this is what happened. But I was just looking down at him. He jumped up and bit the inside. He like hooked one of his teeth into my lip. My upper lip, and he bit the inside so that there was a hole on the inside of my lip on the inside, but it didn't puncture through to the outside.
Ugh.
And I was bleeding like profusely from my mouth, and I was like, what happened? Why did that even happen? As I was like crying and screaming, and apparently you just oblivious to this. Yeah, you don't remember this either because it wasn't your trauma. And your mom literally said to me, well, were you holding like a piece of ham above you or something? And I was like, no, woman. Oh, but yeah.
I remember Scorpy biting my hair and dragging me down.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikey.
Bye, Mikey.
You could always hide longer and see how long it takes them to catch you.
That's a surefire way to get fired.
Not necessarily. If they can't find you, they'll think you disappeared.
Another sure way they think you'll get fired because they think you just bailed on work.
What if it turns up in the news that you died? Then they'll feel real bad.
But then he has to fake his own death.
Not necessarily. But anyways.
There's a whole single story.
I digress. But yeah, I feel like there have been a lot of interesting bodily injuries.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking also another one with my brother that he caused. It wasn't that bad of a bodily injury, but there was a time. So he likes to scare me. He likes to scare me a lot. I'm very easy to scare, though, to be fair.
A lot of people are.
Yeah. But so he used to scare me all the time. So there was one time I was like, I'm gonna get him back, and we had these pillars. This is where we filmed the entire Cousins thing.
Oh. That house? Okay.
Yeah. So we have these. The way that the house is set up is that there's this division wall in the middle, and with like sliding doors to get to either side of the house.
It was a really weird house.
And then there are the one room that was the dining room, and then one room where there was the living room, and then where the front door is. And there were like half walls that divided those spaces. And so I hid behind one of the half walls, and I was like, I'm gonna get my brother when he's coming out. And he was walking down the hallway, and I jump out and to scare him, and he punches me in the eye.
That sounds about right.
This was the day before photo day at school, too.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, that's true. He has seen a boob, remember? You're the only one that didn't see the boob that one time.
The only one who didn't see the boob, you're right.
Yeah.
For context, there was a time when Quiz was staying over at our house, and we were eating pizza in the kitchen, and I was facing one way, and they were facing the other, and they were facing towards the family room where our TV was. And my mom was just flipping through channels, and on one channel, out of nowhere, there was just this smacking sound, and apparently it was a boob being smacked, basically. And they were like, "What's going on?" And I turned around and I didn't see anything, obviously. But
yeah.
At
least I can say I've seen a boob too. I feel like
not that it matters to you.
I mean, I feel like it makes more sense that I've seen one, so that I never have to see one ever again.
Yeah. I've seen a boob.
Would you like to give context?
I have them.
I'm not talking about your own.
I mean, I've seen I've seen Grammy's boobs.
Okay, maybe let's not get into that. Of all things,
I've helped her get dressed and stuff before, and it's not that big of a deal. She's old and needs help.
I would still close my eyes,
Well,
just for
you.
privacy's sake. Because I'm sorry, I need you to make a promise to me right now.
Okay.
If I am old, ever, in my lifetime, and you are still alive while I'm old, there's stipulations to this. And
There's a lot of stipulations. A lot of ifs.
I am more crippled than you.
And I am somehow helping you with stuff in
You
my
are
also
helping me
old
with
age.
stuff. I don't want you to help me.
You want me to hinder you, actually. You want me to push you down the stairs instead of help you up.
That too. But first of all, I'm not talking about generally speaking. I'm talking about like if I'm changing. I'm not saying like try and murder me, although that would be an option too.
You've said you want your deaths to be an accident.
No, I want it to look like a mystery. I've told everyone at this point what I want my death to be like, so it should not be a surprise to anyone when it actually happens.
It's the entire thing with the hotel room, isn't it?
The hotel room,
something else?
the pool,
Yeah.
and the mysterious how did he get the money to even rent this?
Yeah. Sugar daddy, obviously.
I literally want to go to a really fancy hotel. I don't know where. I should shop around for my death hotel.
But it may not exist by the time you die.
If I book it that far in advance, they have no choice. But to stay going until this one person comes.
All I can imagine is me helping you out with this entire plan and me rolling in your corpse on a wheelchair. Like, he's ready to check in.
Yeah, why? I'm gonna be dead by the time I get there.
Yes, no one knows but me.
No, that's not how it's gonna work. How dare you? I'm going to go to a hotel that has a penthouse on the top floor. And the logistics of this hotel are very specific because of how I want to die. The penthouse is on the top floor, and there's a balcony that comes out from the penthouse that looks over a pool that is on the bottom floor. It doesn't need to be enclosed or anything. In fact, I would prefer it to not be enclosed so I don't end up on an atrium or anything. And what I want to happen is I want the pool to mysteriously be drained of all of its liquid, which, knowing how long it takes to drain pools, it would not be unknown that it was being drained by any means. But I want it to be an empty pool, and I want to have fallen from the balcony, but I want to make it look like I was pushed so that people think it was a murder. So I want to create like a struggle up in the penthouse where it looks like I was pushed off of the balcony and I fell and I died in the empty pool. Because I've always wanted my death to go down as like one of those mystery murder cases that you see on all the conspiracy theory shows, where they're like, who do you think killed him? And then it'll point to Sarah.
Be on an episode of BuzzFeed.
It'll point to Sarah as one of the options. It'll be like, more than likely.
It would be like, and the thing is, in my defense, it would be like, I would do it if he asked me to. But I didn't do it this time.
In fact, that's going against what a defense is.
I'm aware.
But yeah, I want it to be a lovely mystery. Like, how do you want to die, Sarah?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
You should try. It's a fun
No,
exercise.
I actively, my therapist advises against it, actually.
Well, I only plan for it because if anything, it makes me feel like I have some kind of control over it.
I don't care is the thing. As long as I don't go out painfully.
Well, I imagine if you die really quickly, it's not painful.
Yeah, so I
like,
but
if I was on the 50th floor and I fell, that's a long way to fall. I don't even know if I'll be able to aim for the pool if it's that long. But if it's from the 50th floor and the minute I hit anything down below, I feel like it's instantaneous death.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I've never died that way before.
that is true. I know, like, some ways I wouldn't want to die. Like, I wouldn't want to be buried alive or suffocation.
Well, what by suffocation you mean any form? So like you wouldn't want to drown either?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to drown either. Unless I was already passed out in the
That's what I'm thinking though. I feel like drowning, highly underrated option for death. Solely because once you stop breathing for a while, and especially if it's coupled...
Podcast got dark real quick.
We're just talking. Once you're not breathing for a while, especially if it's like really cold water that makes you basically numb all over, you just pass out.
Yeah.
And your body automatically starts breathing, so you're unconscious by the time that you're dying. So you wouldn't feel anything. You would just go to sleep and then die.
But that's the thing. I don't want the experience of going to sleep. I don't want the experience of panicking and not being able to breathe.
That's
like, if I was already
you accept your death in the moment.
That's a bit harder to do than you think. But that burning alive is something else I also
that for sure, no. As much as I love to cosplay as a witch, I don't know if I would like being burned at the stake.
No. Like, a lot of those old execution methods, I just, like, obviously, a lot of them were torture as well, so.
But then also, to that extent, your body automatically has, like, that pain tolerance thing where if you can't take a certain amount of pain, you just pass out. So I wonder where that would go in terms of, like, burning to death.
See, I don't know the details of asphyxiation. So I feel like that's similar to suffocating.
I feel like it's similar to suffocating, but you don't notice it as much because you're automatically getting less oxygen over time. Every time I think of asphyxiate, that word, by CO2, not CO2, CO, specifically, I think of Midsommar in that terrible scene.
I think of Little Shop of Horrors.
Well, that's the other thing. Autoerotic asphyxiation.
I don't know what that means.
When you choke yourself. For sexual pleasure.
Oh.
That's why it's autoerotic, because auto specifically being to yourself, and then erotic because it's for sexual pleasure. I mean, you wouldn't kill yourself that way, because that's not... People don't kill themselves to get off. That's not how it works.
No.
But some people are into choking.
Yeah, some people are. Some people are into asphyxiation.
Faye. I feel like any kink in the world, I can probably say Faye's probably at least read something about it.
I don't know, there's some weird kinks out there, man.
Speaking of weird kinks. So,
okay.
I've been
My brother's in chat.
So, I have been playing Gets Off to Their Own Death. I feel like that has to do with ghost stuff, and then we don't even know what the sexual stuff is with ghosts.
No, how do you get off to that though? Because then you already
I told you Faye has read it.
Yeah. I mean, I in certain cases I can understand reading it because there's like certain things where it's like there's respawn mechanics. Like video games.
Wait, hold on. I thought we were talking about real life.
No, she's saying Reddit, so I'm assuming fanfic.
No, I meant about getting off to their own death.
That I don't know how that works.
Would you want to stay as a ghost?
Depends on what type of ghost I get to be.
Well, what ghosts do you think there are? Like, categorically.
Like, I feel like there's, like the upset ones that are like, I need to fulfill my goal and like getting revenge on someone, or like that they just can't rest peacefully. And then there's some that are just there to be dicks. And I want to be the one.
There's a crossover for sure.
Probably, but I want to be the one that just causes problem, or like the helpful one.
I don't want to be a helpful one. I
Yeah,
feel like
you're
just
you.
like how everything that I've done up until now has been motivated by spite and aesthetic. That's how I would be as a ghost. Where,
You're
like-
setting a house on fire. It's like, it's for the gram.
No, that's not what I mean. We don't have Instagram in the afterlife.
You don't know.
I'm talking about like, I would see, because I don't know how ghost portals work. I don't know how, if it's even possible for ghosts to like transport between places. But like, if the people that have wronged me in the past were still alive, and I had some kind of extrasensory way now of going after them and haunting their asses, I so would.
Do that too to like the people I don't like, but purely in a way that like makes them think they're going crazy.
Oh no, I would make them die. not by my hands. I would make them want to die.
Fair enough.
But I feel
I
like
would
that's
just,
more
like,
of a
slowly
demon
lose
thing,
them.
and that's a whole separate entity from ghosts.
Yeah, no, that's a you were damned sort of thing.
Well, I don't know. In the sense of like afterlife stuff, do you think demons are just spirits that have been damned to hell? Then why are
No,
they in
aren't
a material
demons-
plane?
I feel like demons are specifically, aren't demons? No, I guess it's the devil.
I guess it
Like
depends on
angels
what
that
kind
have been
of.
damned.
It depends on
and
if you're
then-
looking at it from an ideology standpoint and what one you're
Yeah.
going from. It's very complex. Well,
Very
here,
complex.
basic question that has to do with it. Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. See, the main thing I have to believe in ghosts is your
Why? Nothing even happened.
because I swear that one time I was sleeping over at your house these many years ago. I swear I heard footsteps in the hallway when there was no one there.
I think that was just my sister having to go potty.
No, but I heard it like all night.
I think she had to go all night. I mean, okay. For me personally, I mean, I've already had this discussion with Sarah, and we've literally done fake ghost hunts and everything before.
This is true.
I.e. the graveyard. That went to absolutely nothing. That was such a stupid trip. But I believe in ghosts, but more than anything, I want to believe in ghosts. I feel like nothing is fully concrete, but I love the idea of ghosts. Not for the
Yeah,
sake of like ghosts being stuck, but for the sake of like it adds depth. It adds lore to the world, if you want to put it that way.
I want like you. I want to believe in ghosts. I think I more believe in reincarnation though, because I swear like there have been times where it's like, especially with pets, where I swear it's like I see like things in pets or something like that, or like
You see things in pets? That's worms.
no.
That's
like when-
you need to get them medicated for that kind of stuff.
Like when we had to put Ellie down. I'm gonna get sad for a moment.
Oh,
when
boy.
we had to put Ellie down, right as we were leaving the room where we put her down, there was a lady out there with a little chihuahua, and she saw me and my stepdad and was immediately like coming over, like could tell what happened and immediately was coming over to give us hugs, and like just in my heart I was like, that's someone guiding Ellie to wherever she's gonna go.
The chihuahua or the lady?
The lady, but like it felt like the chihuahua kind of had Ellie, like in like Ellie's soul with her. Like that's what it felt like to me. It felt like some sort of closure that this lady was taking. This lady had Ellie in the form of the chihuahua and was going to guide her home.
Well, to her
That's what
house,
it-
because it was her
Well,
chihuahua.
Well, I know, but like in my mind, she almost didn't feel real. The entire interaction almost didn't feel real. But there was also
And
there's
did you
also
confirm that she was actually there in
she
person
gave
with
me
the
a she
person you were
gave
with?
me a hug. I haven't asked my stepdad whether or not he also experienced it, but I'm pretty sure we did. But also when we got Misty, who's my cat, who we got right after we had to put Dioji down, I remember also seeing a lot of the same mannerisms in Dioji that Misty has. So there's a lot of like I do think there's a lot of that is whether or not it's like a like how you see those like pet afterlife like talking things where it's like they can see the afterlife and they're like, do this, it's gonna make them happy sort of thing, or is reincarnation or whatever. But
I mean,
I think that's a bit more comforting to me.
not necessarily pet wise, but in terms of like dead relatives, I've had a lot of moments where I would see someone or meet someone, and either it was like the way they looked or it was like how they acted. Like they would remind me of my dead relatives. And I don't necessarily know if that's like a reincarnation thing as much as it's me noticing more things from people that I don't have anymore. So it makes me like more hyper focused on what's not there anymore. So I see it more in like people that I wouldn't have necessarily noticed before.
Yeah, and in that same line, in the regards to the entire ghost things, I always do sometimes feel like when certain things happen, it's like, oh, that person is here with me right now, helping me with this, or that they had a part in this, or something like that.
Well, plus I feel like ghosts in general, for a lot of people, not necessarily the only reason, but I feel like for a lot of people, just the fact that there's a possibility to afterlife brings
It's
comfort.
comforting, yeah.
Not only for like, oh, you won't just like disappear once you die, but also just like the people that you loved didn't disappear after they went away too.
Yeah.
Wow, did you guys expect this is where we were gonna end up?
We went from gruesome injuries. Well, I mean, to be fair, that is kind of
I
a
mean, this
segue.
was the introduction podcast. This is how you get to feel what we are going to talk about in the future.
This is none of our things. Oh, I'm dying over here.
Okay. Sarah's throwing up. But I think especially when it comes to ghosts and stuff, because it's the same with like, I like tarot cards.
Yeah.
In case you don't know me, I like tarot cards.
In case you can't tell by his everything, he likes witchy
In
stuff.
case you can't tell by the aesthetic. And in my mind, it's not that I necessarily believe in tarot cards actually being able to tell any kind of information about anything, but it's more like in my mind, I think it would be cool if they could, and so I just have fun with it. And so I think
Good.
that's also the same like attitude I bring into supernatural stuff, where I haven't had like a personal experience that's like nailed it in yet, but I'm waiting.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, same with that. I'm kind of waiting for there to be something that like nails it in. But also, I feel like there's this aspect of things happen for a reason. That brings me comfort of like that certain things that you have to work for stuff, obviously, but there is certain things that just happen, whether it's for your good or for your detriment, whatever. But they happen for a reason, and so. Like, well, that's what I kind of think of when I think of like tarot cards. Like, they are showing me something that I need to see, sort of a deal, and that's why that they're so much up to interpretation, because it's really how you read them.
Because I just literally have fun interpreting them. That's the whole reason why I find enjoyment in them, because I get to like basically make a story based off of someone, and it's kind of just cool in that way. Plus, I have really pretty tarot cards.
That's fair. I need to get some. I have some tarot cards somewhere.
I could give you some. I have multiple packs.
I wouldn't be against that. I want to get into tarot reading. I think that would be fun.
But then also, I feel like I've had what I would imagine were ghost interactions or supernatural, whatever you want to call them. But that doesn't necessarily mean, because generally speaking, I would say my brain is much more on the logical side, even though I like creative driven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when it comes to explanations and stuff, I'm much more inclined to be like, well, let's go with a realistic reasoning as to like how this could be, because I like knowing options. So like I remember when me, my sister, and my dad went up to Tennessee and we stayed with my relatives in this literally, as it was described, haunted farmhouse. in the middle of basically nowhere. And it was a really cool house though. Like it had like, I want to say 3 floors, but the thing is the 3rd floor was like this weird lookout watchtower that you had to get to by climbing up a spiral staircase that was suspended on the balcony of the 2nd floor. But it was really cool. And I remember they would tell me like all these stories of how there were people that had either died there, or that the fact that it was used as, I want to say, like a base during one of, I think it might have been Civil War or something. And so, I mean, if it's in the South, go figure. There's going to be a lot of old buildings that are like that. And so that's the other thing in my mind. I'm thinking, obviously, if they tell you stuff, you could have that preconceived notion where like you're expecting something to happen. And so I would always like think of that coupled with the fact of I've never slept here before, so I'm not used to the environment, so I could be like completely out of it or something. Because when you sleep in like a big place, or like a place that you don't know for the first time, compared to like say a hotel room, it's not as welcoming. Because a hotel rooms can definitely have creepy stuff. I feel like I've definitely had creepy stuff happen in hotel rooms, but
I have a story about that.
But basically, this one night that I was staying there, I had this weird thing where the place that I was, basically the staircase that went up from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor went up and over, and then there was a balcony / landing that wrapped around the entirety of it and stopped where I was sleeping. So I could basically, from where I was sleeping, where the bed was, I was looking out on a balcony down into the 1st floor, and I could see the staircase from where I was too.
It was like a loft.
Kind of. And because of that, I could see everything essentially on the 2nd floor that was visible to me, other than like maybe a bathroom or something. But because of that, I was like, what if I see something? I don't want to see something. So obviously I turned like to the side. I was like, I'm just gonna try and go to sleep. I put my headphones in because I didn't want to hear creepy noises in the night. And I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. And at some point I got really tired. I took out my headphones and I just passed out. But then I woke up in the middle of the night, and at this point I think I was again sleeping on my stomach, and my head was like in my pillow. Actually, no, you know what it was? I was sleeping on my side. I woke up a bit, and then I heard something behind me, and I felt like there was something behind me, but I was scared to look because it was the middle of the night and it was basically pitch black, and if there was something there, I would have seen the outline of it. So I turned to like face my pillow, like hear no evil, see no evil. And I swear, in my mind, what I heard was like unintelligible whispering in a language I've never heard before. But I also know that that could have just been me half coming out of sleep and like freaking out. So that's like my only major ghost experience I've had that freaked me out.
I think, like, honestly, the only thing I can think of is that time sleeping over at your house and just hearing that. It was the footsteps, but it was also whenever I would stare up at your ceiling fan, I would just see skull. I would just see a skull.
I think that's just you seeing things,
which is fair. I was gonna say something and I forgot.
You had a hotel story apparently.
This isn't really ghosts or anything. This is stupid. I was very young at the time. This was during the era of Dio Quiz.
Oh boy, we'll cover that on a later pod.
I think you did an interview too, like in the same hotel room.
Oh right, when we all had to do those interviews.
Yeah, so because of how it was, I slept on one of like those pull-in beds that was like on a rolling thing, like a little cot. And it would just happen to be where the head of the bed was up against the mini fridge in the room. And so I'm trying to fall asleep.
You've told me this story before.
I think I have. And I'm just laying there trying to go to bed, and I just hear this boop, 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 boop. And in my head, I don't know what it was, but in my head, all I could think was, "There's a bomb in the fridge." And so,
A
I
logical
tried to
explanation, honestly.
I don't know why that's where my mind went. But I went to my dad and I woke him up and I literally whispered to him, "I think there's a bomb in the fridge." He had to explain to me, it's just the ice melting and dripping in the freezer. That made a lot more sense than a bomb.
Bomb in the fridge, ice melting. I feel like either are fine explanations.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask. Have you ever had a moment where you were sleeping and you woke up and bolted up right in bed?
Yes, but I think that was also the same time that I had possibly sleep paralysis. And so I bolted up when I regained control of my body.
That's fair. That's fair. Did you see anything in sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I swear I sent you guys that photo.
I don't know if you did.
Hold
what
on.
photo?
I'll get the photo to show the stream too, but literally, so what happened, scared, was I was sleeping in the bed that I have now, and I'd never had sleep paralysis before. Like, I knew what it was, but I'd never had it before. And what happened was I'd like woken up. I thought I was like fully awake, but I guess I wasn't. And I saw at the end of my bed like this figure that was coming towards me. And it looked, this image here, the most I can do, I'll put it here. This is what it looked like.
Oh, yeah, I remember you sending me that, yeah.
Here, I'll add it to the stream so you all can see. If I can, because I'm stupid. How do you do this? Media? Shh, everything's fine. You know what? Maybe I won't add to the stream. Maybe I won't.
It's a creepy image, so just...
Basically, it's a creepy dude. It's a creepy dude that is from this book called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that I read back in elementary school. And what happened was he was like at the foot of my bed, because the way that my bed is facing, it's facing the door.
I could never sleep with my bed facing the door.
Why? It's not that terrifying, okay?
I just don't like the idea of someone being able to walk
Here,
in and just
look, here it is. Here's what I'm talking about. This is what came up to me. So it like waltzed over, and it basically was like appearing at me in like frames. So it would like disappear, it would move forward and then appear again, and then disappear and then move forward and appear again. And what ended up happening was it freaked me out so much because it got like right up next to my face with its face. And that's when I actually bolted up, because I was like, my eyes were open, but I was still like completely in the sleeping position.
Yeah.
And I was like freaking out when it was getting closer, and that's when I bolted up. And I was like, oh, is that what sleep paralysis is? I don't like it. I don't want to do it again. But yeah. So,
like,
and
I remember
people have seen terrible things when they gotten sleep paralysis too.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't ever want sleep paralysis. One thing though that really interested me was lucid dreaming. And I remember, so there's a game about lucid dreaming. But I remember specifically, I was watching Markiplier play this game, and this was before I went to bed. And it had an entire section about shadow people and everything, and yeah, like being aware that you're dreaming. And I thought the entire concept was really cool. I looked up lucid dreaming. I thought it was such an interesting thing. And I remember going to sleep that night, and I don't know why, but I woke up, and I just bolted up right in bed, and for some reason started having a panic attack. And it's the first panic attack I can ever remember having. And I don't know why, but I I don't know if it was a dream because I can't remember any dreams, but I'm pretty sure it was something from that video that got into my head, and it just, and it's freaked me out because I remember bolting up, immediately started crying and not being able to breathe, and just looking around my room, panicking, like something was coming to get me or something. I don't know.
I know a lot of times I've had dreams that have like haunted me.
Oh, same.
In a way, not even like where I necessarily have a repeated dream, but I could have like had it repeat once or twice, but because of that I fully remember the dream and like can tell you exactly what happened. But
have you go
what
on.
You go
Have you ever seen something in your dream and then seen it in real life?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm someone that gets a lot of deja vu moments. Which could be attributed to dreams, because that's what a lot of people say deja vu is. But I feel like I've had a lot of things where I felt like I saw a general scene play out that kind of mirrored itself in reality, and that's what weirded me out.
I've had a lot of dreams that are very vivid in the sense that the entire surroundings are very, very vivid. They are very detailed. To the point where if I could draw, I would be able to draw them and like explain everything that's going on in it.
Yeah.
But there was a time when I was in college where I had to do this test, and it was separate from the rest of the class. So I was brought into this separate area that I'd never been to before.
Psychic
testing. And I hadn't. And as I entered this room that I was going in to take my test in, I was like, wait a minute, I've been here before. And I was just looking around, and like I said, I've never seen this room before, but it was exactly how a room in my dream was before. Like, down to the fireplace, to the furniture, to the color of the walls. It was exactly. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, what is happening?
Like, I've had that, but it was more specific with, like, I'm suddenly in a moment that I felt like has played out exactly somewhere in my memory before.
I've had those too.
And then in my mind I'm thinking, did this happen? Am I crazy? What's going on?
Yeah, there are times where I'm like, did this happen in a dream or did this actually happen? I've had to ask that before. It's like, did I dream doing this or not?
And even like down to what people, not things, down to what people like are talking to me about. And I'll be like, and literally even at one point, I swear I did this with my mom or my sister, I said what they were about to say because I was like, I've had this conversation before. Hi, Dark. It was just weird. I don't know if that's premonition, the brain being odd, or whatever, but I've had plenty of those moments that freaked me out.
Yeah, no, they're so weird too. With that feeling, it's just disconcerting.
It's
in my
odd
opinion
because it makes you think that suddenly you're missing something.
Yeah,
it's like what have I done here before that I'm remembering, even though you could have just never have done anything there.
It feels like you've just been randomly inserted into something without any sort of like understanding why. And it's like, why am I here? Why do I know what to say? What's going on? Have you seen the entire lamp thing?
What lamp thing?
How this one guy said that he was in a coma and he lived out an entire life, and then he looked at a lamp. He noticed the lamp was just slightly wrong, and he stared at it for too long, and that's what woke him up.
I think I vaguely heard this story before.
Like, that's one of the things I keep thinking of,
I mean,
too.
that's kind of how lucid dreaming works, though. The only difference is... Because I've done lucid dreaming, too, before, where I've, like, got really interested in it, and I wanted to do it. And I looked up, like, all the methods that you were supposed to do. And it makes sense with how, like, what you're supposed to do, in the sense of, because of how your brain interprets things when you're sleeping, normal things that require more brain power to understand aren't processed the same. So, like, if you write something down on your hand and you look down in the dream, it could be there, but it's nothing you can read. Because it's basically just scribbles. And it's the same with, like, checking a clock, because that's just not how it works. Like, your brain isn't keeping track of what time it's supposed to be.
What's interesting about that is that I always hear that, like, when you read stuff and stuff in dreams is that it's unintelligible. And well, it's like, I've never seen like a sign or anything that I can read in dreams, but I've mentioned this before, but I have subtitles in my dreams.
Yeah, that's weird.
I have subtitles that I read,
That's
but I'm
living
also
your anime
hear.
protagonist life.
I don't know why it happens, but I just have subtitles that just appear in my dreams, and that's how I understand what's going on. Like, I don't often hear, like, unless there's a musical number going on, which happens a lot.
That also is not surprising at all.
I've made up so many great songs in my dreams, and I'm like, I wish I could recreate these in real life.
I mean, I have had dreams where I just thought the story behind them was so crazy and so out of pocket that I had to write it down because I wanted to use it sometime later.
Here's another one. Oh,
what?
Go on.
No, what?
Have you ever had a dream that has actually made you dizzy before?
Not dizzy, but different feelings before.
Like, what kind of feelings?
Well, also at that point, I don't know if it's the dream that made me dizzy or I felt that way and that's what was affecting my dream. Because I've had moments where I felt, this also could just be attributed to, like, maybe I had a fever that I didn't know. But, like, I've had dreams where I would go to sleep and I would be in, like, a really cold or a really hot place. Versus, like, the temperature of how it actually was in the room was not that bad, but my body itself was running really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wake up and I would either be extremely sweaty or I'd be, like, freezing cold under blankets and stuff, and it's, like, 75 degrees. Like, it's not that cold and it's not that hot either.
I haven't had that necessarily, unless I'm sick. Like, when I had COVID, I was shivering uncontrollably, and I felt so cold, and I had every blanket on top of me.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That was not fun. But...
Which, by the way, we don't have COVID right now, guys.
We don't have COVID. I even took a COVID test today. Don't have it.
I would have been dead if I had COVID.
But, I've had a dream, and it wasn't like where you said, like, I wasn't in any sort of different condition. I was in my normal bed. I wasn't sick or anything. And I remember this dream to this day quite vividly. But the main point of it was at the end, for some reason, I got into one of those, like, what looked like an amusement park ride, where it just spin you around really fast.
Oh, like a tilt-a-whirl?
Kind of, but it was like an arm. It was just like a single arm that you were attached to. It looked like something they would
like
use.
that spider one that we went on that one time.
Kind of, yes. But there was just one arm, and
It just flung you.
It was just spun you really quickly. And I remember being in that, and I got really, really dizzy, and that's what woke me up from the dream, was because I felt so dizzy.
I mean, that makes sense though. Because, like, if dreams are basically your brain creating something, it'll create the feelings too.
It's just, it's weird because I don't know why I was like, I don't know how, because of the science of how you get dizzy is ear fluids.
Yeah.
So what was I doing that made...
It's ear fluids, but it specifically signals being sent from the sacs that the fluids are in. So if you were dreaming and in the dream your brain thought that the fluid was moving around based off of your other senses in the dream, because it's also it'll combine like your visual and what's going on inside your head, then that could be a factor as to why you felt dizzy even though nothing had actually changed.
Fascinating. And Dark says it was a nightmare. The thing is, it wasn't really that scary. Like, a lot of my nightmares are not scary, in my opinion.
No, Dark is talking about COVID. He's talking about when we were talking about COVID.
Oh! I thought it meant like a dream in hell.
I'm keeping an eye on the chat, guys, okay?
I'm keeping an eye on it, too.
I've lucid dreamed before. It was weird. I was like in an office setting and I literally looked up at one of the men that was working there that I don't know who he was. He was just a random man. And I said to him, "You're not real." and then I literally flew up and started riding his shoulders.
Part of me really wants to lucid dream. Another me is scared that it's gonna cause sleep paralysis.
I didn't have sleep paralysis from any of the times I lucid dreamed.
I think it would be fun to lucid dream.
I don't even know what causes sleep paralysis, honestly. Like, some people say it has to do with stress or just how your brain works specifically with waking up in that cycle. But that was that only
right, I'm gonna
one
get
time.
sleep paralysis for the first time ever because we've talked about it.
I mean, I doubt it. I don't think that's what causes it. I don't think it's like your mind thinks about it and that's what makes it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
If I
lucid
get
dreaming
sleep
is fun.
paralysis and I just see your little icon floating towards
Hey,
me.
you should be happy. I feel like my little icon's cute.
Yeah, no, it is. That would be better unless it's like jaw unhinged or something.
To which you'll have to tell me how it looks like. I need to make a version
Yeah.
for Halloween.
Yeah, no, I want a lucid dream eventually. Somehow.
Well, Dark, maybe you do dream. You just don't remember it. Because a lot of the times, especially with dreams that I think about, they'll immediately leave my head. And even sometimes I'll just forget that I even dreamed in the first place.
I remember quite a bit of my dreams.
But also, even when you lucid dream, I don't feel like it's 100% in your control. From my experience, at least. Because I feel like I was doing things, but other things were still happening around me.
That's fair.
And even then, if you think you have control, you can will all you want something to happen. It's not going to necessarily follow your directions. Because I
See,
tried.
every time I mean, I honestly, I'm kind of with my brother on this one. Like, the dreams that I have are already really crazy.
The dreams you have
like,
already
the
have
entire-
subtitles. Like,
The dreams I have already have subtitles. Like, either they have a musical number, which is often, like, so much fun, or they are, like, this doomsday space thing where the moon is coming to crash down and we're making bread in a spaceship to survive.
yeah, I've had a couple doomsday ones. You know, funnily enough, a lot of the dreams that I remember always involve going on trips to places that I've never been before.
That's
Like,
interesting.
the one that I remember about going with a gay couple to Amsterdam and taking a jelly Polaroid photograph with someone in a backseat, and then the other one where I went to Neo Tokyo with you when you were asleep the whole time.
Yeah. That's just a premonition.
But those were like so vivid in my mind that I remember intricate details, like that stained glass window hallway with all the neon signs.
Mm-hmm.
I still swear to you, one day I'm going to draw that out how I imagined it in my head, and I'm gonna like get that as a giant back tattoo or something, because it was so crazy detailed. It made no sense why it was so crazy detailed to me.
I've had a lot of that stuff too. Like, have you ever like just made someone up in your mind that you've never seen before in your life, and he shows up multiple times?
We do that all the time.
No, I know. It's okay.
We literally do that all the time.
Okay. I have this reoccurring character in my dreams that I've never drawn out. I've never seen him in my life, but I know who he is, like vividly, because based off my dreams. And he's only appeared in my dreams. But he's usually a villain, and he's also usually very over everything.
Well, maybe it's just another part of you, you know?
I'm
Part
pretty
of you
sure
that's
it is.
over it.
I'm pretty sure it is, to be fair.
Does he have a name?
I'm pretty sure I've been calling him Dim.
Dim?
Yes.
Well, I mean, hey. Maybe you should actually draw a character based off of him. Because I would imagine at this point, if you've seen him multiple times, you probably know what he looks like.
Oh, I know what he looks like, yeah.
So basically,
Villain over everything, yes.
next time, Sarah's gonna have Dim with her.
Sure. No, I'm not.
And
I wouldn't be able to
it's gonna
draw it
animate with her. And you can draw the character in the same style you drew the background.
Oh, gosh.
Black and white stick figure. Really great. But yeah. Anyways, it's almost been an hour and 30 minutes. So, I think we're gonna wrap up this first podcast. How have you been, Sarah? How was this podcast experience for you?
It's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been insightful, if you will.
I was not insightful.
What do you mean it wasn't insightful?
I feel like we already know too much about each other, so nothing about
This is
this is
true.
new to me.
No, that's fair.
If anything, we just end up telling each other stories that we've already told each other.
That
many
is also
times.
something we often do. Yeah.
It's for the people.
It's for the people.
Morgan and Morgan. Can we get sued for that? They are a law firm.
It's
blurry.
A meme. It's a meme.
Worst case scenario, I'll bleep it out. But yeah, so we're gonna end it here. I hope you all have enjoyed. If you want to catch the next podcast, it will be happening next Sunday.
Same time, same day.
Same time, same day, 7 p.m. Unless there's a change, to which I will
Not let you know.
I don't know what I'll do.
You'll just have to suffer.
I'll be like, I might let you know. I'm too lazy. But yeah. And next time we'll actually have a topic other than just introductions.
Yes.
I don't know what that topic's gonna be, but we have a
don't
list.
know yet. We have a list, and we will.
And
pick
we
something
may
from it.
or may not have a guest.
Depends on what the topic is.
Because Shinny was raring to go.
She was.
She was ready to come in here. I even made her little PNG already. But yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll talk together all the time. But
Yeah,
we'll
we
talk
do.
together on camera, on stream, next time, at Sunday, at 7 p.m. And hopefully we
And
won't be sick.
And quiz streams on Wednesday.
I
so
do.
You can also catch them
So
there.
if you want to catch that, and possibly Sarah reading voice lines, we'll see.
I may or may not be there. It's a toss of the coin. That's
No, we're not doing
afraid.
Nightmares today.
No.
Although, you might be our next guest.
You don't know. We know what you're gonna look like.
We do. We already picked it out. Okay, we're ending it now. So, goodbye all. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.